They're frustrating and downright irritating. Robocalls are a constant invasion of privacy in our lives, and we just want them to stop.
Some of them are legal, but many of them are not. Tonight, Mike McDaniel explains how easy it is for your phone number and information to fall into the wrong hands, creating a cycle of calls.
Ignoring this will be an intentional second attempt to...
You've heard the lines.
Federal IRS is filing lawsuit against you.
And have felt the annoyance.
Loans, cars, insurance, voting.
To a point you may not even want to answer your phone.
A huge waste of time and a big inconvenience.
That inconvenience comes as cell phones increasingly become the gateway for robocalls to get their messages into your ear. For some folks, like Emma Williams, who lives in New Orleans, those calls are consuming.
I could see about 30 a day or more. 50, 30 to 50.
Of robocalls and telemarketers.
Yeah, they start early in the morning, around 8 o'clock.
Robocalls can be interpreted as any nuisance or scam call from an unknown caller. It doesn't necessarily mean a robot is calling you. Americans got about 58 billion of them in 2019, the most in history. 1.6 billion of them were in Louisiana.
It just aggravates all day. I'll be wondering what can I do to get it, stop them from calling me all day like that.
Some of that aggravation is completely legal, most of it not. According to the Federal Trade Commission, a robocall trying to sell you something is illegal unless a company has your written permission. Those that don't need your permission are informational calls, like those from a local government agency, debt collection calls, political calls, messages from charities, and calls from some healthcare providers. The problem is, illegal calls seem to dominate.
I can guarantee I get a call every day, Monday through Sunday, all hours.
For Chad Joseph, who lives in New Orleans and is on the national do not call list, those calls have just become part of life.
A lot of times it'll be school stuff, like student loan forgiveness. And it's like, I don't have any student loans. So why are you calling me?
I know I've had my number for a long time, but I'm just like, how do these people actually get my number?
That's a question from Christina Dabney in New Orleans that Eyewitness News had as well. To see how easy it is for companies and potential scammers to get their hands on your phone number, we went to the internet. After a few clicks and a credit card payment of $447, we had more than 14,000 phone numbers, complete with names, addresses, ages, and genders. We bought numbers in New Orleans, Cleveland, and Denver. No questions asked. Free to do with them as we pleased.
Before the computers, there were mailing lists and phone calls to phone numbers, and that could be sold very easily. So this is just an advancement on that type of thing.
Since those numbers can just be entered into an auto dialer, Cynthia Albert with the Better Business Bureau of New Orleans says for illegal calls, it doesn't take a lot of work to become profitable.
That's why this type of thing continues, because it's very lucrative. They really don't need a lot of people to fall for it.
That's why Albert says don't be afraid to hang up or simply don't answer the phone. But that's not always easy to do.
Sometimes if it says spam, I won't answer it, but if it doesn't say spam, most of the time I answer them.
Answer them or not, the calls keep coming.
We called a lot of those numbers we bought online, and the folks who answered were very surprised to not only hear from me, but to know their phone number and other information are being sold so easily to anyone. Wednesday night, as we continue our series, we'll hear from those folks. Also, we'll explore avenues that you can take to try and limit those robocalls, how Louisiana is trying to fight them off, and whether that do not call registry is even effective. Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.